Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to another DCS World F-18C in-game flight training video. This one is the unguided rockets. We're doing some air-to-ground stuff. After rockets, we're going to get into some bombing, and then we'll wrap up the series and start doing some missions, starting with the campaign that's baked into the game. So, let's go.
In this lesson, we'll take a look at the use of unguided rockets. Like the air-to-ground gun, it is a simple point-and-shoot weapon system against unarmed and lightly armed targets. It's an area effect weapon and not designed for precision attack. As such, it's often used in a ripple fire mode in which all rockets in the pod fire at once. However, you can also fire one rocket at a time. We have both 2.75-inch rockets loaded on our inboard stations in 19-rocket Lao-68 pods and 5-inch Zuni rockets on the outboard stations in 4-rocket Lao-10 pods. From the mission editor, the inboard rocket stations are hardwired for ripple fire mode and the outboard stations are set to single fire mode. First, select AG Master Mode.
Okay.
On the left DDI, under the top row of push buttons, are selections for 10S and 68R. 10S indicates Lao-10 with Zuni rockets set to single fire mode, and 68R indicates Lao-68 with 2.5-inch rockets set to ripple fire mode.
Okay.
Select 10S at push button 6.
Gotcha.
We are now looking at the rocket's format page on the left DDI. On this page, we can select the rocket delivery mode, launch type selection, hot gun, and UFC entry for manual mode. Along the left side of the page, we see that we have mode options of Continuously Computed Impact Point, or CCIP, and Manual, or Man mode. CCIP is boxed, indicated it is the active mode. We'll come back to these soon. Below the mode selection on push buttons 2 and 3 are selections for either single or salvo. When single is selected, rockets will just be launched from the selected rocket pod. A selected pod is indicated as boxed on the wing form. When salvo is selected, all rocket pods of the selected type will fire their rockets.
Hell yeah.
Note that either one rocket per pod or all rockets per pod will be launched based on the single and ripple fire selections in the mission editor. In the top right of the page at push button 11 is the selection for hot gun. When selected, gun is boxed with a ready indication to the left. In hot gun mode, pulling the trigger will fire the gun with the gun cross on the HUD acting as your bore sight aiming reference. Below the hot gun selection is the step option at push button 13. Successive presses of step cycles through the selected rocket pod of the selected type when in single mode.
What's up, girl?
One final note on the rocket format page, a diamond symbol under the wing form indicates an adapter to carry more than one weapon on the station.
Big ass rockets.
Press spacebar to continue. Let's look at the HUD now, which is in rocket CCIP mode. The most important element of the rocket HUD is the CCIP gun reticle near the center of the HUD. When showing valid range, it acts as a dot of destruction and mayhem. Fly to place the pipper over a target and press the weapon release button, or press enter when the in-range cue is displayed to rain your fury on the target. Around the center pipper dot is a 50mm reticle composed of tick marks, each representing 1,000 feet of slant range. As you get closer to the target, a range tape will unwind counterclockwise around the reticle from 23,000 feet to 0 feet. Inscribed inside the reticle will be a line that indicates the current range to the spot under the reticle pipper. Inscribed outside the aiming reticle is the rocket maximum range indication line. When the current range line is less than the maximum range line, in RNG will be displayed on the HUD and you can fire rockets with accuracy. Press spacebar to continue.
Okay.
Also on the rocket HUD is a horizontal bar with what appears to be upturned wings on the
Yeah,
end.
the breakaway
This is
X.
the pull-up cue, and this is there to advise you of potential ground collision. It is not a weapon fragmentation warning.
Skip.
When the velocity vector is below the pull-up cue, the brake X will appear on the HUD. The rocket element is located on the right side of the HUD and indicates our selected mode, CCIP, and the number of rockets remaining, in this case, 22. Near the top center of the HUD is the bore sight line of the M61A2 gun, and this is your gun cross for hot gun mode. press spacebar to unpause and kill some helpless trucks. Ahead of you at waypoint 1 are groups of target trucks at an abandoned airfield. The targets are also marked with a gate and red smoke. As you get closer to the target group, descend on the target and place the CCIP rocket pipper over one of the truck groups and press the weapon release button, or press right alt and spacebar to fire rockets. If you have hot gun enabled, you can also fire the gun with the trigger or spacebar. Once you've destroyed a truck, we'll discuss manual mode.
Altitude. Altitude.
I thought I set a dead zone on my zoom thing to make it not freak out like that, but could be wrong. Have been before.
Altitude. Altitude.
I have to destroy a truck to go into manual mode.
Good job, Carlos.
There we go.
When you're ready to talk about using rockets in manual mode, level your wings and press spacebar. I've repaused the mission so we can discuss rockets in manual mode.
Okay.
If you're not already there, go back to the rockets format page on the left DDI. Press spacebar when ready to continue.
Am I out? Yeah. Looks like I'm out.
First, select 68R
thank God.
at push button 7 so we can try 2.5-inch rockets in ripple fire mode. This will provide a large spread of rockets to saturate an area.
I like that.
Select
Saturate.
manual mode by pressing push button 4 on the left DDI. Most of this will look the same from the CCIP mode, but we now have a UFC legend below the step selection. Go ahead and press UFC at push button 14. Now enter a milliradians or mils setting for a fixed rocket sight on the HUD. You can use a manual mill setting sight, much like a fixed World War II bombing sight or what you'd find on an older aircraft like the F-5E. On the top option select window, RTCL is displayed, short for reticle. Press the option select button to the left to select it.
Okay.
When selected, a colon will appear to the left of reticle. Now use the UFC keypad to enter a mil value between 0 and 270 and press enter. Try 20. Upon doing so, the rocket pipper will be adjusted to a fixed location on the HUD. The rocket mode, or man, and mill setting will be displayed on the right side of the HUD, and the mill setting will appear to the right of the reticle indication on the rocket format page. Press spacebar when ready to unpause the lesson and try this out.
Alright.
Press
Here goes
escape
nothing.
when you are ready to end the lesson.
You know what? We're gonna go salvo. We're just gonna frickin' send it. Shut up. Haha. You're telling me I didn't even kill one thing? Whack. Alright. Anyway. Well, there's your unguided rockets. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you next time for while we get into some bombing. Peace.